Great morning, great morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Good morning, Courtney. Happy Friday. As y'all jump on, drop y'all city, y'all state, let us know where you're joining from. We're going to give it some time to let other people join. Good morning, good morning. Give us a little minute. We're adjusting some things. That's fine. I got to see you sitting there. I can see me. I think it's going to be fine. How y'all doing this morning? Great morning. Doing great, thank you. Happy Friday. Happy Fabulous Friday. Happy Financial Freedom Friday, whatever you want to call it.
Big boy Prince, what's going on?
Good morning, big boy.
Ever thought about making an intro while people are joining? I got a 4-minute intro to let people join. We could talk. Never really thought about it. I used to do like a little morning show. Well, I have the music playing, but never really thought about it, man.
I've seen people do it though.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it could work on TikTok, but on these platforms.
Yeah, they can hear it though.
Yeah. But that's a cool idea, big boy.
I'm open.
Cool idea. So we're just waiting a few more seconds so people can join. Happy Friday.
So we're early, actually.
We're a little bit early. Oh yeah, we are early, huh? So it's 9:01. So
bless you too, Junior Stackhouse Marie. All right. So
hello.
I'm Eric.
I'm D, y'all.
And this is Fabulous Freedom Friday.
Fabulous. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I named it. Fabulous Freedom Friday.
Because I'm always saying fabulous, and you always saying freedom. So okay.
Yeah. So guys, as you jump on, like she said, drop your city and state, like, share, tag, subscribe. We have a YouTube channel. We ask that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can actually go back and see this live video because we are broadcasting via YouTube as well. Also, if you haven't liked our Facebook page, we do have a private Facebook page. A Facebook page as well. Mm-hmm. And we also have a private Facebook group. If you guys are interested in joining the private Facebook group, it's the Blank Spot Sublimation Group. You can go to our link tree and you can find that group. Or if you go to our website, www.theblankspot.com, that's with 2 S's, THEBLANKSSPOT. You can kind of hover over in the pink area, mm-hmm. and you can actually join that Facebook group from there.
Yeah.
Hey Karen, how you doing? I know you are.
So guys, we
Karen with the IN. Hey, I know Karen. You are.
So we are on here every Monday morning, every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talking business. You know, we don't only, even though we are a sublimation blanks and supply store, we also want to bring our business knowledge to you guys. because this is not our first go round. We've been in business 7 years. This is just the blank spot is just our newest endeavor. So we want to bring some of the knowledge that we know about as far as business and personal finance to you guys, and that happens every Monday and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So we're broadcasting normally on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, so you can see it on any of the channels. Great day to you, Nadia.
Great day, Nadia.
Let me see who this is, man. I know I'm reaching over. She says, okay, Mr. Man, keep asking me how long I'm going to watch before we dive in. So, hey, check it out. Happy y'all were able to join us today. I touched on this yesterday a little bit, but I want to go a little bit deeper today. And we're going to be offering some classes in person and virtual. In person and virtual. Hey, Linda, thanks for jumping on.
Come on, Linda.
I'm going to be offering some classes in person and virtual classes about record keeping and tax preparation. Now, before you go all off the handle, no, we are not tax professionals.
Nope.
We're not bookkeepers.
We're not CPAs.
Not accountants.
Nope.
None of that. What we are is business owners. And as business owners, we feel like it's your responsibility. It's our responsibility to understand how our business works. Now, we may not be able to do everything inside of our business, but we definitely need to know how everything in our business works.
That back end.
If we don't, what's going to happen? We end up hiring the wrong person.
Yep.
We end up trusting people just because they have titles.
Yep.
We end up owing the government more money than we should owe them.
Exactly.
Because we missed out on some valuable tax deductions.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to call any names out, but shout out to one of our customers that came in on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, yesterday or Wednesday.
Yesterday. She came in and she was inquiring about how to report her monthly tax. What was it? Sales and use tax. Sales and use tax.
So sales and use tax.
The tax that she received in, when she made a sale, she wanted to know how to report that on the site. So she wasn't shy. She came in and she asked a question and she showed me, okay, what do I do? So, we appreciated that because, we've been talking about this for a while now and letting people know, hey, the blank spot, we will accept your retail license so that you don't have to pay the taxes to us. However, you do need to report that to the state. So she came in and she asked how to report that.
Well, you need to collect from your customers.
Yeah, you collect it and then you report it. Yeah.
So that's a sign that what we're saying is getting out. There's a lot of people. And if you've been on the call before, or, even if it's your first time, but there's a lot of people that talk about, hey, they want to make a lot of money, but they don't understand that they're losing money at the same time because they don't understand all the powerful tax deductions that their business has.
Right.
So it's the third quarter. It's the last month of the third quarter of the year.
Yeah.
And coming up, we're going to be talking about planning. I want to get some classes together, some talks together about planning your year out as well. But this is the last month of the third quarter, which means we're going into the last quarter of the year. Now, it's hectic enough throughout the year to be concerned about record keeping, tax preparation. Am I doing the right thing? Am I missing out on something? Do I understand? Am I educated? It's already hard enough throughout the year to understand that. But now you're talking about, I've waited all year long, January, all the way up to August, and I have a pile of receipts in a shoebox or a Ziploc bag or stuffed away in a drawer from my business. And some of the things I may be able to write off on my personal life. And, how do I get that stuff organized? Well, it's not too late.
It's not too late. And you want to start now because what you don't want to do is overwhelm yourself at the end of the year or the beginning of the next year to get that previous year completed. Because if you have all this stuff and you get overwhelmed, you're going to be like, forget it. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself.
So the quartermaster says on TT, they say, I hate record keeping, but you got to do it. I want you to, hopefully after this conversation, you will embrace record keeping and tax preparation a little bit more after this, because record keeping is not only essential to proving to the IRS that you have a business, a legitimate business,
right,
and that you have deductions, but record keeping is the way to lower your taxes,
yep,
which in turn is going to increase your cash flow, which in turn is going to help you to put more money back in your pocket or more money back into your business's account.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that's important. So, like I said, I spoke about this yesterday, and there were a lot of different responses. So I said, you know what? Let's talk about it in detail in a more organized fashion, and just talk about that, because there were a lot of people coming on making some suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
They were suggesting that people find a good accountant or good CPA. So how do they do that? How would you? And then I want y'all to understand something. Most of our audience, the majority of our audience, is new to business ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our audience is taking their personal funds, they're taking the money that they're earning from their paychecks, and they are using that money to start building their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So how does somebody who's new to business find a good accountant or a good CPA?
Right.
Right. Anything? Yeah.
What do you guys think? Like, how do you hire your CPA? How do you hire your professional tax person? How do you hire that person? You know, that's a question we're asking, and we're gonna give it a little bit, but you have to know how to hire those people.
Remember, you're interviewing them for a position that you're actually, you're hosting a position.
Right.
So you have the job
right.
that you're hiring them to do.
Right.
And oftentimes we get a little intimidated by so-called professionals because we think that, just because they have that pedigree, that background, that degree, that name,
right,
that title, that, they're going to be knowing what they're doing, or they're going to be, they're so much higher than us. Maybe even to the point to where they speaking over our heads and we're not understanding the conversation.
Do you go by the reviews? Do you go by word of mouth? Okay, someone told me that this person is a good person. What do you go by when you hire your CPA, tax professional, whatever it is you want to call them? What do you go by?
So we're going to give that a little bit, and I'm going to read some of these comments. Farris Fab Creation says, definitely appreciate your advice. I don't have a business license yet, but I'm working on it. The great thing about that is all you have to do is say I'm in business.
Yeah.
And then start working your business in an effort to make a profit.
Yeah.
You need to get business license according to, and I hope you're not confusing an LLC with a business license, because the two are different.
Yeah.
But every business is not going to require a license. But I strongly encourage that you do get an LLC if that's what you're talking about. You're all right.
Yeah.
If you get an LLC, that's what you're talking about. But you don't need to have a legal entity registered with the Secretary of State to be considered a business owner.
Right.
Okay, you can just be self-employed or a sole proprietor, a self-employed business owner. So don't be fooled by that. Okay, don't be fooled by that. Greetings, Truth. Thanks for jumping on. Hey, Miss Sarah. Thanks for jumping on. So the question is, if you guys just jumping on, how do you find a good tax professional?
How do you hire that person? What do you look for in that person? Do you just go by what somebody's telling you? Oh, that person did great. What do you go by?
Okay, Quartermaster says my accountant is asking me for a trust to run my LLC. Currently, I'm a sole proprietor. My question to you is, first off, what state do you live in? That's number one. Number two, why do you have a sole proprietorship? Why do you not have an LLC? Okay, so now why don't you have an LLC? Is there an issue with that? That's the next question. And then a trust, I believe, is a good idea. We are working on the trust ourselves. It's a process and it takes a long time. It's a lengthy process.
Yeah.
However, I can, and we can talk about that later on. We can talk about that later on, but I know why your accountant is asking you to do a trust.
Yeah.
You see, we started in May as a side business. but it's picking up faster than we expected. Okay, I understand. So,
here, if that's the case, then you might want you probably need to move on to
you want to go ahead and LLC. Create your LLC, and I don't know how much
for protection.
Yeah, and I don't know how much it costs in Ohio.
Yeah.
But it's something that you can do yourself. You don't have to pay someone to do it. You can go to your Secretary of State and fill out the paperwork. Online.
Yeah. A bunch of questions.
Okay.
That popped up.
So I got Big Boy said I'm trying to move from a sole proprietor to LLC. Mm-hmm. It ain't hard, man.
It's not hard. I mean,
all this filling out the paperwork.
Paperwork, guys. It's not.
All it is. I
promise you.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not something that I know here in South Carolina. All you have to do is go to the Secretary of State website, search your name, your business name. If it's available, it's gonna send you to the next screen so that you can fill out the paperwork for your LLC. And 2 days later, they're sending you the paperwork.
Quartermaster, paperwork and time, LOL. It takes 5 minutes to create an LLC.
It is not.
I promise you.
Y'all thinking.
Y'all overthinking the process.
Y'all overthinking it.
It takes 5 minutes.
I promise you, y'all overthinking it.
It takes 5 minutes to create an LLC. You can do it online. You're right. You can do it online. You can print it out, and it'll be done. Yeah. It's not what these companies try to make it out to be.
It's not.
You see, and I'm gonna say this, and I hope this doesn't sound like I'm advocating for them. I've been seeing, the more we talk about business, the more I see business ads go across our timelines. And I've been seeing Taylor Brands come on our timeline on one of these social media platforms talking about, hey, you need an LLC? That's why I go to Taylor Brands and blah, blah, blah. Taylor Brands is nothing more than a legal Zoom. You can do it yourself.
Y'all can do it yourself.
It's not rocket science. Absolutely. We're overthinking the process. You can go on YouTube and find it. You can go on YouTube and find it.
Your Secretary of State
control
where you get it. Okay. Now you can probably go to Google and say, can LLC in whatever your state. The first thing that's probably going to come up, like Eric said, would be like these other companies that will help you get it, like LegalZoom or Taylor Brands. But you want to look for the Secretary of State website.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we kind of getting off topic. We're getting off topic. We're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and we could talk about that maybe on Monday. Okay. But we're talking about preparation for taxes. So just because you don't have a legal entity registered with the Secretary of State,
right?
Understand that a sole proprietorship is still a business.
You still have to,
but it's not a legal entity. Right. You still have to report your income. Still have to report your income, which means you still need to keep records. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the biggest issues is that we don't know which records to keep or how to keep them.
Exactly. So a lot of times we're missing out on a lot of tax deductions that you could be having that'll lower your taxable income. And that's what we're talking about today. So we had asked that question, how do you hire your tax professional?
If that's the route you want to go.
If that's the route that you want to go. And I don't know if we had anybody that said something before on TikTok.
Yeah, we had a couple of people. So Big Boy talking about they stole his name.
I'm just wondering what people are saying about how would they hire.
My sister has an LLC. Is it wise to add my business as a DBA under her LLC? Why would you want to do that? No. Why would you want to do that? It sounds like people are not wanting to take personal responsibility. I don't even want to talk about LLCs no more, man, because you don't need a lawyer to create an LLC or a corporation. For a corp, you may want to get some advice, but you don't need a lawyer. You're right. Bob Thayer says, I thought the same thing back 30 years ago. Back then, you couldn't do it online. Absolutely. I have been forgetful with my receipts. That's what we want to talk about. I've been forgetful with my receipts, and starting up. Okay, so now, here's the thing. Before you can hire or even consider talking to someone as far as hiring them as your CPA or your accountant or your tax preparer.
Yeah.
It's two different things. An accountant doesn't necessarily do taxes. Right. That's the first thing you need to understand.
Right.
Just because somebody is an accountant that doesn't mean they do taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most accountants will do taxes.
Right.
They will allow that to be in their makeup, in their purview.
Right.
But most accountants do taxes, but they don't have to. An accountant is someone who keeps books,
handles your accounts, things like that.
Yeah, handles your book, your banking accounts, handles your records and things.
That's an accountant.
That's what an accountant does.
Yeah.
CPAs are known for doing taxes and bookkeeping and keeping records.
But a CPA is a certified
public accountant. Yeah.
So it's about accounting.
So if it's about accounting, we have to learn how to be accountable for ourselves, which means that we have to understand before we hire anyone, we must consider mindset shift. We have to understand
educating yourself on what you can and cannot do as far as the different things that you can and cannot write off. Because if you don't know that for yourself, and I'm talking about the basic things for your business. If you don't know that for yourself, then somebody may tell you that you can't do something, but you really can. So you have to have that basic knowledge of what you can and cannot write off. Because you don't want somebody telling you that you can't do something, but you really can.
So someone says that they went through Quartermaster went through Small Business Association to find one. Cool. Okay. You still have to know. You still have to know what you
got to know for yourself.
You still have to know if they meet your qualifications. I think we get wrapped up into this person is okay. Case in point, just because we sell sublimation blanks, that doesn't mean, or we sell sublimation blanks and supplies, that doesn't mean that we have good quality products. So how are you going to test our products out? Mm-hmm. You may buy some products. You may ask some questions. You may ask for samples.
Yeah.
You may, something like that.
And you may have there's a professional tax preparers out there, or that they only specialize in a certain type of business. So if they're specialized in, say, trucking, or they're specialized in something else, but you have a trucking business, they may not understand your business and what you can and cannot write off. So you have to know that that person understands your business and what you can and cannot write off. Just because they have that title doesn't mean that they're privy and know all of the tax laws and what you can and cannot write off, because they may be concentrating on a specific type of business.
Okay, so Bob says it's got an accordion file full of receipts. I put them in after I scan them. And I scan them with my phone. That's the same thing we do. We have software. We scan our receipts to our phone. It goes to a server, and we're good to go.
Exactly.
Which receipts should be kept? That's something we're going to be talking about.
That's what we're talking about. We're going to be doing classes.
We're going to be doing classes on it. We're going to talk. We're going to touch on it a little bit. Okay. Before hiring someone, make sure your business morals match. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. That's what we're looking for. Make sure that your business morals match. Yes.
Hey, thanks, Bob. We appreciate it, man. We're glad that you're on, and we're glad that we're giving value. So, Quartermaster, you say your CPA just wants you to put each month's records in an envelope and drop them off each quarter.
Okay.
That sounds like
that's a CPA.
That's a
public
record,
accounting.
and a record keeper. Yeah, they're keeping your books as well.
They're keeping your records.
So let me ask you something.
Keeping your records.
Let me ask everyone something. I don't want to make it like we're picking on anybody.
Yeah.
Let's pose this question to everyone. If my guy or gal, my person, says, hey, just drop your receipts off at the end of every month or at the end of every quarter, and I got you. And then tax time comes the next year, February the 1st, or January, and we're able to file our taxes. And you find that you have a huge tax bill. The first thing I need everyone to understand is that we all have tax bills. Everyone on this call that reports income has a tax bill in this country.
Yep.
But it's our responsibility to learn how to legally lower our tax bill to the legal lowest limit.
Right.
Now, with that being said, let's go back to the other scenario. let's say your tax professional, your CPA, whoever says, hey, you know what, Eric D, just go ahead and just give me your receipts and just drop them off, and I'll put them in, and I'll make sure I'm taking account of everything that you can write off. And then at tax time, you have a huge tax bill.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what you just said. You said that the CPA was going to say, well, I'll take into account what you can and cannot write off. Okay. Do you know what that is? Have you sat down with your CPA to say, okay, these are the types of things that I need to be keeping the receipts for. This is what I can and cannot write off. Because you may have all these things in this envelope that you're thinking, oh, you're good. But then they get to put them in the system and they're like, nope, they throwing them away. Nope, can't do it. Nope.
Or even if they say you can or cannot, have you seen it documented in black and white on the IRS.gov and the publications,
right,
to where you can or cannot write certain things off?
Right.
So when they're discarding those receipts, when they're throwing them away, now you got this huge tax bill. Now you mad. But why are you mad? Why are you mad? We're mad because we trusted someone to do a job that we didn't even understand.
Right.
I look for years in business, what size business, what to ask for in the reference in my field. Okay, cool. So you're doing your research. Yep. I just want to make that clear for people, because we attract our company, and what D and I do, we attract new people to business.
Yeah.
And we want new people to business to understand that it's not just about creating something. It's not just about building or making something.
Right.
If you're going to be in business, you need to understand the whole aspect of business.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that whole aspect of business means that you have to keep records.
You gotta work on the back office of your business, not just always in the front. Because if you always in the front and you're not looking at what's going on in the back, then that back is gonna suffer.
I agree. I agree with, as your business grows or before your business scales to a certain level, that you may want to invest in finding a great tax professional. Mm-hmm. But I also agree that before I invest into a tax professional, that I need to know what I can write off. There's no you're not going to convince me otherwise. So I'm going to read and do my research for myself. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to have this conversation with this individual.
Exactly.
And I'm going to say, hey, you know, how do you feel about miles versus actual vehicle expenses? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about meals, writing off my meals? How do you feel about writing off my uniforms?
You know, so you have to know that. So you have to sit down with that individual in the beginning and lay things out as a foundation. Because if not, you're gonna be at the end of the year time to do taxes, and that's it. You guys never laid out any type of foundation.
So right? and there's no reason for anybody on here to justify the decisions that they made.
Right.
All we're doing is giving you a thought-provoking scenario to make you think, hey, if you feel bad about questioning the person that's doing your taxes, I feel bad for you.
You shouldn't even deal with that person.
But no, if you feel bad about questioning what they're doing,
right,
they shouldn't have a problem with you questioning them. Because they should be educating you.
Yep.
And if they're not educating you and they're just doing that job, then it might not be the right fit for you.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are gonna say, hey, okay, for example, a lot of people will write off home expenses. Okay, let's say you have a home-based business. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make this one short. You have a home-based business and you want to write off your home expenses. I see people dropping them in there: phone bills, utilities bills, rent, water, mortgage interest, not mortgage interest, and a square footage that you're using for your business.
Exactly.
Now, I can write off everything. I just said. However, if I don't make money in business,
right,
I can't write off my mortgage.
Right.
Yeah, I can't write off my space. I can't write my space off if I don't make any money.
There's percentages involved in these things, right?
There's percentages.
So which means that, and I'm just gonna make an example, a phone bill. There's a percentage, depending on what you're doing, that you can write off. That's just an example. So we're thinking that we can write all the 100% of these things off. There's percentages involved as to what you can write off.
So we hear things and then we don't go and do our research. So even as we're talking, hopefully we're dropping some seeds or some crumbs or some nuggets. So it's going to make you want to go to the IRS.gov and pick up an IRS publication digitally, of course, and start to read about business expenses and business deductions. And if you do that, now you may start to understand and kind of, see where we're going. Because here's the deal. Anybody can say anything. But if you don't see it for yourself, that person or persons that's telling you that you can write something off or cannot write something off can put you in a position to where you feel, hey, I've been violated. When you at the end of the year or the beginning of the next year, if you have a very huge tax bill, but you possibly left tens of thousands of dollars in tax deductions,
exactly.
You've left them on the table because you didn't understand what you couldn't write off.
Right.
Then there's an issue. Also, keeping every receipt. We found out the hard way that keeping every receipt is not a good idea. I just lost somebody. Keeping every receipt is not a good idea. If that receipt does not pertain to a tax deduction or a tax write-off, we don't need that receipt.
We don't need it.
Because now, if I get audited, if that receipt gets entered into my records and I get audited, that can very well raise some flags. That can very well raise some flags.
Exactly.
So I need to make money to write off in order to write off what I spent for your home office expenses. You do.
Yep.
Now I'm not saying not to keep a records of it, because you can actually use that the following tax year.
Yep.
So don't throw it away, don't discard it. But for example, I'm just going to make an example. If I made $10,000 in business and I had $10,000, if I made $10,000 in business, let's say I made $5,000 in business and I had $10,000 in home expenses as far as the home rent, right? Not the office space, then I can only write off the $5,000. That's the money I made. Okay. A lot of people are using these deductions incorrectly. Once again, I'm not a tax professional. This is what I've read. This is what I've learned. And then this is what I've talked to our professional about.
Yep.
So it's very important.
This comes from experience, guys. Yeah. This comes from 7 years of being in business and living and learning, certain things. So that's why we're letting you guys know about it, because we've been through it.
And I know this is a boring conversation. Nobody wants to talk about record keeping and taxes in business. I know everybody on here, especially if you're a crafter, creator, or designer, you probably want to be in front of a computer watching us press something, make something, or design something. But that's irrelevant. You can make as much stuff as you want to make. If you don't understand how to keep the money, from what you're actually, getting,
exactly,
it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah, we're just trying to educate you guys so that you can be fully successful, not only in the front end of your business, but in the back end of your business as well. Because that's even more, that's the whole back end is even more important than that front end.
So you got record keeping, i.e. also bookkeeping. You have tax preparation. Your tax professional, once you choose that tax professional, they should be getting in contact with you at least once a month. Don't wait till once a quarter, especially if you're making money in business.
Right.
At least once a month. Once a month to see which direction your business is going.
Yeah.
Because you may have to pay monthly taxes
or quarterly
taxes in order to make sure that you're doing the right thing. I don't know about you, but I don't want to stroke a $30,000 or $40,000 check at the end of the year.
Exactly.
So if I can pay that every month or every quarter, it's going to be easier, because now the money's there.
Yeah.
It's available. I haven't taken it and put it somewhere else. and now I can give them their money, kind of like paying sales and usage taxes.
Yep.
Similar to paying sales and usage taxes. If we have something in here that costs $7, but the tax on it is 35 cents, we're going to take that $7 as a revenue for us.
Yep.
We're going to break it down, how much profit, how much overhead, and all that stuff. We're going to take that 35 cents and put it to the side because that doesn't belong to us.
Because at the end of the month, on the 20th, we got to get up to the state of South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen so many businesses go out of business because they have liens on their business because they didn't pay taxes.
They didn't pay the taxes.
They didn't pay the taxes.
Yep.
So Delmar said it's not boring. It's great. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm setting up my website for small businesses. All of your videos have been so. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. So all we want to do is share some experiences that we have had personally to people who are interested. Listen, we realize this, and I was telling Dee this morning. There's three types of people that get on these calls. There's three types of people that are in our groups, and there's three types of people that come to our stores. It's the person that knows everything, the person that doesn't know and doesn't want to learn, or it's the person that wants to learn. Whether that person knows or doesn't know, it's the person that wants to learn.
Right.
We're only talking. I want y'all to understand something. We're only talking to the people who want to learn.
Right.
And want to share their experiences.
Right.
That's the only people we're talking to.
And always do your research.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're telling you all this stuff, but you know what? Trust but verify. So that means that go do your own research as to what we're telling you. Don't just take what we're saying. Just do your research. You know?
So what's a good place to start?
As far as the research?
Yeah.
For this?
Yeah.
IRS.gov.
IRS.gov is a free website. Okay?
IRS.gov. Go on there and search the topic, guys, and there's going to be plenty of publications and things that come up on this topic.
IRS.gov is the best place to get started.
Yeah.
There's a search engine. I know technology. Quartermaster said, I took a small business tax class at the local library. Congratulations. Opening our mindsets to different things, learning new things. The only way that we're going to advance, only way we're going to be successful is if we're willing to make a fool out of ourselves and learn something new.
Yep.
We got to humble ourselves.
Should always be learning.
To learn something.
Always be learning.
But there's a lot of books out there that you can read. But I think one of the best places to start is to go to the IRS.gov.
Yep.
There's going to be a communication issue. You know, the verbiage, the definitions. So you may go to the IRS.gov on your laptop and or your tablet, and you may be on your phone looking up the definitions of what those words may mean, because some of that stuff is out of our vocabulary.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that we can't it's nothing that we can't understand or comprehend. Right. It's the fact that when people tell me that I'm not interested, I just got a side hustle, or I'm just doing this as a hobby, but I make money on the side. What I hear is that people don't understand legacy. People don't understand wealth building. They don't understand generational wealth. And they don't understand that a business, specifically a home-based business, is the best tax strategy that we can have against overpaying taxes.
Exactly.
Because taxes is our biggest expense throughout our lives.
Yep. This is true.
You always make more mistakes than successes, but it's what you do with those mistakes.
Exactly.
Hey, I just say we're going to either win or learn.
Yep.
We never lose.
Yep.
We either win or learning. So if you guys are just jumping on, we're asking the question. It's the last month of the third quarter.
Yep.
There's quarters in the month, y'all. As business owners, we need to be thinking about that. The first quarter, January, February, March. The second quarter, April, May, June. The third quarter. I'm sorry. Wait. This is the second month of the third quarter. I apologize.
We got one more month after this.
The third quarter, July, August, September, and then of course the last quarter, October, November, December.
Yeah.
So we're in the third quarter right now.
Yeah.
All right. And you need to understand it's not too late if your records are in disarray. We keep our own records. We keep our own records because we have several businesses. We have a couple of LLCs and we have an LLP.
Yeah.
We also have a home-based. Well, we have a home-based business, each one of us. Mm-hmm. So we keep our own records. However, we send our records to include our profit and loss statement, mm-hmm. to include our history.
The history, yep.
To our tax professional. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I asked Dee the other day, I said, do you ever see us handing over our bookkeeping to somebody? Mm-hmm. And she said no. Now I personally, right now at this point, it's not that big of a deal because we're still scaling.
Right.
But I do see in the future.
Yes.
In the future, us handing that over.
Yes.
And because this business is the newest business and mm-hmm. we're just getting started, we already understood record keeping. See, that's the thing.
Right.
We already understood record keeping. So we knew some of the basic things that we could legally, morally, and ethically write off. Mm-hmm. We have a common tax deduction booklet that we had access to that broke down just the basic things, the common tax deductions for home-based business owners.
Right.
And then as we created our LLP, we began to branch out and we got a building. So we can write off the entire building mm-hmm. as an expense. Mm-hmm. The utilities for the building, the internet for the building. That's not a percentage. That's the entire thing because that's for business use.
Right.
And then we've realized and understood about depreciation.
Yep.
Certain things that we can depreciate.
Yep.
That TV back there. This is the first year that we're going to be able to do it.
Yep.
But we're going to be able to depreciate that television.
Yep.
To include.
We got these
presses.
That big printer back there. Depreciation. So you have to know that stuff. You know what you can do.
And I'm not telling you. I'm not telling anybody. We're not telling anybody to become a tax professional.
Right.
But we're saying that everyone here is a tax preparer.
And you should be educated on those things. You have to educate yourself in the business.
Everybody's a tax preparer. So we're going to open it up for some Q&A. Going to open it up for Q&A real early. And let's see what type of questions you guys got. Some of the questions we will be able to answer. Some of them we will not. So we're not going to make up anything. Don't do that. That's a lie. Don't like that. But if we can answer the questions, we will. Or if we can give you some advice or some direction in where to go to do your research, mm-hmm. then we will. Mm-hmm. So does anybody have any questions, any comments? What we got out there? What do we have? I want to address Big Boy. If he's still out there, I want to address Big Boy. He said that they stole all of his names for his LLC. Big Boy, I want you to understand, man. Even if you have to spell the name differently, even if you have to reorganize or add,
or something,
you know, there's always ways to actually capture that name to deviate from losing your customers. I want everyone to understand that before you go out there and get heavy in your business, you don't want to brand yourself and market yourself as a name being a DBA that's doing business as or a sole proprietor. And then somebody comes out and they say, hey, you know what? They just secured that name.
Yep.
Now you can't use it.
Because people have the same ideas for names, you know, all the time.
Or similar, yeah.
Or similar. So as soon as you get that idea, you need to secure it.
You need to lock it down.
You need to lock it down. That way you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about that.
So it's the third quarter. We're talking about something that a lot of business owners don't even want to talk about. Mm-hmm. We want the money, but we don't want to learn how to keep the money.
Exactly.
And it's important. Honestly speaking. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for jumping on.
Shakia.
Your LLC does not have to be your business name. Now, if you trademark, it's different.
It's different.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You can have an LLC that says the blank spot, and we can actually be doing business as another name. Mm-hmm. We can be doing business as another name.
So basically, Big Boy. So like if you're saying that for your LLC the name is taken, so make a little change to it or whatever. That's really not gonna matter. But when you go to trademark, that's what's gonna matter. That trademark.
And we're really not talking about. We got back on LLCs because I mentioned that because I wanted to answer. But I also want to say this, Big Boy, and this is to everybody. Think about your name. Think about your business name. Mm-hmm. And think about if somebody's going to understand or want to do business with you because of your name. Think about that. I just want to say that I'm not here to degrade or belittle anybody or make them feel any type of way. I just want you to think about it. I've seen some business names out there that I'm like, man,
listen,
I'm not even talking to y'all.
Our first business, we had to think about what we was talking about because nobody understood what it was. So we had to revamp that entire thing, because they didn't understand what point we was trying to get across because of the way we had it spelled and things like that,
Okay, so honestly speaking, 365 says that our products are honestly speaking, or Academy is 365 Creative Academy, and then we have Silaholics Anonymous, but our parent company is HS Inc. 365 LLC. Parent company. Yep. Okay, it's important that you understand you can brand different products, you can do business as, you can market, but you want to make your business name something that's going to be appealing to other people.
Yep, and they understand it,
and not just a one group of people. We want to do business with everyone.
Right.
We should anyway. Great morning to you too. Don't worry about it. Just hop on in there. That's what it's for. So the quartermaster says we file as C&J Customs, but we have the quartermaster's Foot Locker as a niche business. Cool. Okay. So I mean, it's so what we're saying is basically what you're saying is what we're saying is making sense.
Yeah.
No questions, huh? Any other comments then? Any other comments?
So we hope that you guys, understand this question that we're asking and that you're going to do your research and understand how to hire your tax professional or CPA and get yourself educated before you do on what you can and cannot write off, things like that.
Imagine this. Imagine going to a job. Imagine going to an interview for a job. Back in the day, we put on our best clothes or whatever, a blouse, a button down. Back in the day, we was going to interviews in suits, ties. I remember when I got out of the military the first time at a break-in service, and I went to an interview for the Baton Rouge Water Company. And they dig holes, y'all. They dig holes for a living. They dig holes with shovels and with backhoes. But that didn't stop me from going into the building to the interview in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get the job. I put my best foot forward. The first impression is everything. That's the same thing with our business name. That first impression is everything.
It is.
I see a lot of these names out here, and I'm like, man, it was black. Of course, it was black. It was black. I was young. I was young. It probably should have been blue. It probably should have been blue, but it was black.
The suit you're talking about.
Yeah, it was black.
Yeah.
But they dug holes. And I'm probably sure that a lot of people have been coming into the interviews with khakis or some slacks, button down, and a polo type shirt. But I wanted to get the job and I wanted to make a great impression.
Exactly.
Because I needed that money. Well, it's the same thing about your business. Look at your business name. This is for everyone. Look at your business name. Is your business name a name that somebody's going to want to do business with? Is your name something that somebody's going to find offensive? Oh, I don't need them. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even understand what you just said. Is your name something that somebody's going to look at your name and they're going to want to do business with you? Okay, think about that. T-shirt, tumblers, and mugs and more says I filed as designs by DLLC. May I put Mats by D under the LLC, or do I need a separate one? If you want to do business as another name, you can start branding that name. Depending on your state, I'm not giving you the answer.
Right.
These are just recommendations that I recommend you go and find out from your state. If you are required to do a DBA, if you have to do a DBA, you can do a DBA as such. Okay, you can do a DBA as such, but I would inquire about that in my state. Remember, most smaller businesses are registering with their local Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something
else about the, I don't want to get off topic, but when it comes to the name, you kind of want to take yourself out of it which is something that we learned and something that, like with my creator business, I brought this up because you said Designs by D, right? So my creator business, at the end of it says Designs by D. But then I learned that, you know, you kind of want to take your name out of it because you're separating yourself. You're separating yourself, and that's a whole nother topic. But just kind of want to bring that up.
Well, since nobody's saying anything, let's talk about it. When you start talking about business credit and business funding, you don't want to have your name attached to your business anyway. There should be a separation of your business name and your personal name. I think what happens is a lot of smaller businesses getting started off, it's a pride thing.
It is.
We want people to know that we own the business.
I was like, well, we're Designs by D, by me. But you know, I quickly learned that, you know, we should kind of separate ourselves, you know, personal wise from the business.
When we started to grow up in business, our third business that we started, actually we rebranded our business. We renamed our business, created another LLC. The name of our parent company, our parent business, because this actually doesn't fall under yet, but it will be falling under when we create our corporation. National Business Builders, because we teach business building, business funding, business finance, and it's going to be a challenge to put the blank spot under that, because it has nothing to do with it specifically.
Right.
But when we went to National Business Builders, the first thing that we had was McKinley's Financial Services.
Yep, that was the first one.
That's my last name.
McKinley's Financial Strategy Service. That was the first business we had.
And we wanted everybody to know that it was our business.
Yep.
Now that we're grown up, the blank spot. We don't even really want people to know when they come into our store that we're owners.
Because they treat it's a different type of treatment.
It's a different type of treatment.
You know, it was funny because we had one client that came in. It was a new client, but they had been watching us on social media, and they came in, and I was standing over by the press, and then Eric was up front, and we was talking or whatever, and then she was like, "Are you the owner?"
Bypassed everybody,
and then she ran over like it was just it. I didn't appreciate it. It was
as you get more mature in business, it's not as important to have your name on that business. We want to learn the importance of control,
right?
Not ownership. Control. It's a difference. That's why the young lady that said that their accountant was talking about a trust. A trust allows you to control.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get deep into that because I'm not spun up on it all the way. Yeah. But a trust allows you to be able to control. We are happy with ownership, and there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But would you rather own something or would you rather control it? I promise you, if you control it, you pay less taxes. If you own it, you have ownership of it. You can take ownership of it without, actually being that owner per se. Mm-hmm. But that's another conversation for another time. If you guys just jumping on, we're talking about it's the third quarter, and it's something that a lot of business owners avoid, and that is record keeping and tax preparation. Mm-hmm. And in order to stay in business the next year, you have to file. Yep. Nobody ever said that you have to pay.
You have to definitely file.
We all have tax bills.
Yep.
But we want you to understand the importance of learning how to legally lower your taxes to the legal lowest limit. Mm-hmm. As a business owner, personal taxes, all that good stuff. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to keep good records, to get a great knowledge of the tax system. Understand the tax system. Whether you decide to get a CPA, whether you decide to get someone to do it for you, or whether you decide to do it yourself.
Right.
Some businesses have scaled so greatly that they can't afford to do it themselves.
Right.
It's too time consuming. Right. Some of y'all are hiring people and it ain't time consuming. You just don't want to do it. That's another conversation as well. Some of y'all out there just starting up business, and you got in bed with somebody to do your taxes and to do your record keeping, do your bookkeeping and all that stuff. And you don't even need to have somebody do it. You just don't want to learn. That person, the person that I'm talking about right there, I'm not calling names. That person I'm talking right there is taking money out of their business for something that they can learn how to do, or a portion of they can learn how to do to lower their expenses, to shift more money back to their business. That's something to think about.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Then there's the person that was like us. We were using tax software and filling our taxes out incorrectly. As business owners.
Yep.
Filling our taxes out incorrectly.
Yep.
Because the tax software will allow you.
It allows you to do whatever.
To do whatever. But you're putting things in the wrong spot. Putting things on the wrong forms.
Yeah.
So we learned.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with being transparent, y'all. We learned. And while we are learning, we want you to be educated as well. That's the only way that we're going to be a successful business. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep.
How much you're keeping. How much you're keeping. Yep.
See, you guys will have nothing but success because all you give. Thank you. Well, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. And right back at you. You know, it's there's a lot of things that we do talk about. Some things that we should be talking about in private and encouraging people to pay for. And this is one of them. This is just public knowledge.
Yeah.
Everything that we're telling you right now is on the IRS.gov.
Yep.
But I encourage you to go out and do your research. Now, we will be having a class. We'll be having a class, in-house and virtual, within the next, I want to say by the end of the month.
Yeah, end of the month.
The last Saturday of this month, we're going to have a record-keeping class, and we're going to have a deductions, record-keeping and deductions class.
Yeah.
It's going to be in-house, and it's going to be virtual. Now, let's see how many people are going to want to invest in their businesses by doing that.
Exactly.
Oftentimes, and I don't want to throw in this out, but oftentimes we see these calls, we get on these calls and we get the nuggets and we try to do the stuff ourselves. And then when it's time to invest, then people don't want to do that. That's the people who's sharing the information's fault. Ain't that right, Shakira? Shakira, I'm sorry. Ain't that right, Shakira? Honestly speaking, it's our fault that we share too much information.
Oh, Lord.
It's our fault. It's our fault that we share too much information. But
we just like educate.
Yeah,
you know.
But you got to invest in yourself.
With Shakira, she like educate.
You got to invest in yourself, though.
We sometimes we overdo it.
Yeah, but this information that we shared, is all public knowledge.
Yeah,
it's all public knowledge. How did you like it, Sarah? You purchased the record keeping class. How did you like it? Because we have a basic record keeping class that's pre-recorded on our website. It's just basic. You know, it's basic. And I encourage you all, if you have a skill set, people talking about making money, people talking about making extra money, creating extra income, another stream of income. If you have a specific skill set, you know,
yep, I know you do.
you should take advantage of it. But we're learning, specifically me, because I talk a lot. I like helping people. Not that she doesn't, but I like helping people. I think that the more you share with people, hopefully it makes them want to go and do their research.
Right.
Once again, in the beginning, I said this. There's 3 types of people that we come into contact with. 3. The person that knows everything, the person that doesn't know anything and doesn't want to learn,
right,
or the person who wants to learn. They may know a lot and they may not, but they still want to learn. We're only talking to the people who want to learn.
Yep.
And that's all I got.
Sarah says she really did like it. It was very clear and direct. Good. And we're glad you got something out of it, Sarah.
And we think it was a good starting point.
Yeah.
I think it was a good starting
with
point.
This next class at the end of the month, you guys can come on, you can ask questions, and it'll be live if you like the live feel. So at the end of the month, be looking out for that.
And Quartermaster, you're absolutely right. When you get to the point in your life to where it's more important to keep your time, well, when you get to the point in life where you understand that it's more important to keep your time and you can afford to invest, to outsource things,
right?
We free up more time. If that means you got more time with your family,
exactly.
If that means you have more time personally spiritually, mentally, emotionally, with your business, whatever.
Just make sure you hire the right person.
Yeah.
And you guys have an understanding.
I agree. Yep. I agree with you on that last comment.
Absolutely.
I agree with you on that last comment.
Yep.
So you're interested in the cash flow manager app. Talked about 2, but not ready for the electronics just yet. Okay. Well, that's cool. We're going to talk about that in that class as well. Yeah. In that class, we're going to talk about that as well. Mm-hmm. But hey, listen, it is 9:59 on the East Coast. We are getting ready to go hot in our business. Got to open up. I'm surprised that we had this amount of people stay on this long. We appreciate y'all. Yeah, we know y'all got a lot to do on this Friday. You can always go back on our YouTube channel, subscribe to see this video. We're going to put it in the business playlist. You can see this again. Listen, I'm not editing videos. So if you the type of person that's looking for a perfect video, don't even subscribe to our channel because I'm not editing videos. All right.
Look,
I'm
the real deal. It like it's on there.
I'm the real deal Holyfield, man. So I'm not at the level mentally. I'm not at the level mentally to where I feel like I have to edit. I think that people want things that are real and raw. And this is the audience that we're attracting. So not editing videos. You're going to see it just like this. You're going to see what I just said, that I'm not editing videos on there. So, but I want you all to have a wonderful day. You got something to say?
Enjoy y'all day, guys. We appreciate you all. Make sure you come back and join us on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to pick another topic to talk about. And y'all enjoy your day.
Like, share, subscribe, tag, follow, all that good stuff. We're located at 224 O'Neill Court, Suite 26 and 27, Columbia, South Carolina, 29223. We do ship. We are a sublimation blanks and supply store. Check us out, theblanksspot.com. THEBLANKSSPOT. Check out our link tree and you can see it in our bio. You guys have a wonderful day.
Have a great day, y'all.
And we'll talk to y'all soon. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Shakia, you said you got your box. You opened it today.
All right. And you don't edit either. I know. Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah. We're glad you got your package. Hopefully everything is intact because I packed it.
Ooh. Thank you so much, Shakia. We appreciate it.
Y'all take care. Peace.
Bye-bye.